this other brother is saying there are times where it sounds irresponsible. Can instead of trying to be right, can you understand that even just
I can understand that you feel that way, bro. And I'm
there should
sorry
be
you feel
not
that way.
times where
I
we
can
sound
understand that you feel that.
irresponsible and doing broad brush comments about the
I can
country.
understand that you feel that way, but you also have to understand that when you
Back
interject
live, y'all.
into a conversation,
When we get cut off, hold on. When did we cut off at, ladies and
you
gentlemen?
know where we are, all the
He
content
was
of the
reading the
conversation.
source, yo.
Which source?
The Berlin conference shit.
You did that on purpose.
Wow, that's amazing.
You did that on purpose, yo.
You
did it on purpose, yo.
Damn, yo. I can't
did it on purpose.
Like that, yo.
I'm out, man. I'm out. I can't believe this shit. That's fucked up. That's the most fucked up shit ever, right there.
I just did his whole.
That's the fucking why from the fucking beginning. That's the part cut out.
Hey, yo, it was a mistake. Shit happened. I have a whole house going on here. The dog knocked the internet plug out.
I heard you say, boop, 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 boop.
Boy, hey, that's a classic. The dog ate my homework. We got a dog ate my homework. Well, Chef Run went to the dog ate my homework.
No, that's what happened.
The dog knocked the internet out right when we did that part. Wow.
So what conclusion did you come?
I'm just saying the shit sound funny regardless.
You think this is Unc first time talking about the damn Unc just did the show 3 days ago to hold them the verses.
Oh, no, I ain't get to put it together. No, I really put it together real short and sweet.
So Montoya, this is what you doing.
Like y'all show up at different times. Like
yeah, Montoya, you come in and you think that these conversations haven't already been had before. You think that we haven't hashed out half of the stuff. Unc is reiterating something.
But I was just tell you, in the moments, y'all still be leaning towards the broad-based conversations while he's reiterating. Y'all should just be agreeing then instead of arguing.
No, because Unc even changes up, right? He even uses European so we never complain about going from European to Portugal or to Belgium, right? When he is talking in general about Europeans, nobody never stopped and say, no, you can't do that, Unc. You know what I mean? But the moment we say motherfucking Angola, right? And then we use African in general, everybody wants to stop us like we're creating, like we're making sense.
That's not shit. That's not fair. Here's why it's not fair. It's not fair because what you're saying right now is narrowing that people are suggesting you can never be general. There's absolutely times you can be general. What we are pointing out is that sometimes you are incorrectly being general.
Right. So, but
y'all not willing to listen to the times when you're being general incorrectly. Like there are times when you can say Europeans. There are times when you can say Africans. Sometimes y'all are saying it when you.
Why y'all never check the other side when
you call it the other side? It is no other side when
because
okay, hold on. Let's listen. No, that's okay. That's not the. When generalization is being used correctly, there's nothing to check. There are times when you can say Africans and it's being used correct. But if you're using it in reference to different groups who do not see themselves as Africans, we should not use that context that we clearly heard tonight when it was given to us. There are plenty of times when we say South America. There are plenty of times when we say Africa. Yeah. But
I'm gonna tell you, Montoya, I read the books and I speak it the way the scholars speak it. Like when I read it and I reiterate something, I try to reiterate it the same way.
No, you don't.
Yeah. No, you don't. In my opinion,
you don't.
Other thing is, and just because the scholars do it when we just find out why the entire world
I'm not listening to Montoya. I'm listening to the experts, the scholars, bro. Write a book and rechange the mindset of what the scholars do, and then I can respect that shit. Otherwise,
what? Nah, you heard what it. No,
so you're making an argument to be leave it out of context. Cool, have your argument. Keep it, bro. You can have it. You can have it. The shit is irresponsible.
Y'all are not usurping the goddamn
You can have
experts.
it. You can have
I'm
it.
gonna do it like the experts do it.
Just so you know.
That's what it is, bro. If the experts do it this way, I'm doing it that way.
Cool. I'm gonna stand by these white motherfuckers who gave me the context that you that way,
white.
and I'm gonna keep using that white. All right, so, we got it.
No, why you can have white? It, bro. I'm talking about the African expert, the black expert. It don't gotta be white. You know what I'm saying? I can speak to you the same way the motherfucker wrote the way the nigga the same black person, nigga. It don't gotta be white.
Just know I'm white every time. I'm gonna call it whack as a motherfucker every time. You use that shit incorrectly, I'm gonna call it whack every time.
So why does using African always get brought up as we're using it incorrect?
All right, you keep using this shit over and over, and I
don't never hear you.
Okay, I'm telling you.
When your opinion is used incorrect.
We can do it right now. Google North Americans enslaved North Americans. Google did Europe enslaved.
So you won't ignore my point.
Hey, listen. Google that shit. Watch nothing come up. Watch nothing come up when you Google.
Asians? How about Asians?
Yeah, Google that shit. Watch nothing come up. Watch it. Right.
So Montoya,
you know what's gonna come up? What you're gonna come up, you're gonna get the specifics. You're not gonna get the continent enslaving the other continent. But it's okay. Y'all think it's okay. But when you look up Africans enslaved Africans, you get a whole bunch of hits. And I say, why did you get a bunch of hits? You just heard tonight.
That's because you just heard on a fucking Google search, and Google has like you know how algorithms work. That's why you get it like that.
Okay, so yeah, I know how it works.
Majority of niggas who
check it out. Go to page 100 and you still won't have a hit. You just heard tonight why the entire world refers to Africa the way that it does in the incorrect.
I'm not gonna allow you to be the authority on how we use the word Africa, bro. I'm saying you gotta take the time, do the work.
Are you serious though, Sosa, right now, yo?
Yeah, crazy. The psychology of improving our people.
Yeah, that's serious, because you know.
They don't give a fuck about right.
When I have these conversations with you,
because our conversation is above that a little bit.
You know what exactly.
Y'all acting like we doing something stupid. Unc knows exactly what we doing.
I heard y'all. It's stupid, Unc Chef. It's stupid. I heard it 100 times.
It regresses the conversation.
So it's crazy.
He doesn't do it too.
It's crazy for him to be on the side of you, like he don't use it in the same context.
No, I don't. Did you hear what he just? Go ahead. Do you hear? Hey,
we from the same, but Nick, that's how we talk.
No. I'm talking about.
It does not diminish the point, yo. You acting like, yo, you giving this dude credit. Like, it does not.
Watch this. Hey, Montoya, hold on, Montoya. Explain to them the difference between you can use generalizations.
Yes.
We agree, bro. So yeah, we talk like that. But when you're talking about a specific thing that occurred in a specific place, you can't generalize that. And that's exactly what y'all did, bro. How y'all not understanding? I jumped on you from day one for that. And you know what you did? You countered with a trick argument saying, well, we say Europeans. No, bro, we can use Europeans. When we're talking about specific things, we're talking about Hitler, Nazi Germany, and motherfucking Russia. You can't say that the Europeans shot up each other. You gotta say that Nazi Germany fought against the Russians.
Can you say African enslaved other Africans?
Because they didn't.
Can you say that?
Did.
Can you say Africans enslaved other Africans? And watch where you say it, Can you say that, bro?
And why would you? Why would you though?
Y'all saying that's
why
not
would you?
English?
So can you say North Americans enslaved other North Americans?
Is it correct? Do experts say African slave other Africans? Black
so why they say it though, Sosa? Why they?
I don't give a damn why they say it. I'm saying do they speak that way?
So
do they speak that way?
So scholarship matters no more.
I'm asking you, bro. Do they speak? Do the experts?
Why they do it though? Why they do it?
I don't give a fuck.
He's not asking you why. He said, do they do it?
So what do you ever say North Americans? You ever heard an expert say?
No, what I'm asking you,
North Americans enslaved other North Americans?
Bro, forget that. What I'm asking you,
why you gotta forget that? Why you gotta forget that though, Sosa? Why you wanna forget that?
I'm asking you, bro, am I speaking in a manner other than what the experts do? That's what the fuck I'm asking you, bro.
I know
yes
why
or no?
I know why the
experts. If you don't know how the experts do, then why you?
I know why they do it.
Then listen, man. Then you need to start with the experts, bro, and let that shit filter down to the Negroes. Let that shit filter down to the Negroes, bro.
Yeah. So because of the Berlin
Conference, the only reason, top down.
Because of the Berlin Conference is the only reason you and me are having this argument right now. And you and that's the only reason we're having this argument.
I'm talking like the niggas.
I know you're talking like the entire world talks this way. And we can be smarter.
Can we use John Henry Clark as a source? Is that acceptable? He black, he right on.
I said the whole world talks that way, Sheffrin. I ain't mixing my words up, bro. Hold on.
So John Henry Clark is mixing shit up.
Hold on. You're trying to make a point. Oh, you're missing that I used to talk this way. The whole world talks this way. So hold on. You miss Chef. If the whole world talks this way, do you understand that all experts would talk this way?
Yeah,
you do not understand what I say. The entire world talks this way.
Yeah, but you're bringing in
so is it gonna be missed on me? Is it gonna be missed on me that other
you're
people in the
some
past
nuanced argument and trying to subject us to your way of thinking on some nuanced arguments that you done developed? Like, goddamn, bro, like shit. Start at the top, bro. Let that shit filter down to the Negroes.
So can we agree that that's why the world does it though? Because of what was done by these people with the full intention that just broke down beautifully over the course of those 400 years.
I don't know.
So John Henry Clark didn't know what y'all talking about right now.
Right to work, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead and read it, Chef. Chef, go ahead and read it. Let's see how slick you is. Well, you got circumship.
Yeah, no. Why do I say that when you bring some? Do I say? I don't do that.
Now, this is the first time we ever seen you hold up a book, Chef. So read it. I want you to read the book. First time I've ever seen you hold up a book. So go ahead, Chef. I'm enjoying this moment. Go ahead and read it, brother.
Crazy. Now insult, right? Now we go to insult.
I didn't insult you. I said it's the first time I've seen you hold up a book.
That's an insult. Why would you fucking say that otherwise? That's bullshit, dog.
There's no way to have these conversations in depth like this.
I'm saying I want to see him read it.
Okay, well, you didn't just say, let's let him read it then instead of.
You think you read?
So wait a minute. So we acting like we ain't through insults around here? Now it's new? Because I had a good insult?
It was just whack. Insult the brother, man.
First he said it was.
I hate that shit.
That's what I'll do. First he said it was an insult.
It wasn't, though.
Y'all took it as that. Come on, dog. You can't, like, that's what make it, like you got to own what you do, too. Like, that's
I just said it's the first time. Right, hold on. That I've seen Chef hold up. Hey, Chef.
It's a fucking insult.
Do you have? Hold on. Do you got more PDFs than books? Actual books.
Fuck up trying
no, hold on. Come on with that. Hold on, Chef. So me saying that really ain't an insult because you like you said, you got most of your stuff on tablets. Now, if I said Chef don't read shit, that's a serious insult.
Man, that's whack as hell. I'm off. That's whack as hell. You're gonna try to call to say that wasn't no fucking insult. Come on, dog. Don't rationalize bullshit like that.
Go ahead, read the thing.
I know y'all are friends and he ain't taking the shit personal, but don't try to outsmart us on the fact you didn't just insult that man. Come on, dog.
Man, so Chef ain't worried. Chef don't care about.
That's whack as hell, though. Like we was just using a scholarship place, and when you start doing insults, you lose that shit. I hate when that happens.
Come on, hey Chef, go ahead, yo. What you trying to read? Go ahead. What page?
I done lost the point. The point.
I know his point. John Henry Clark refers to it as Africans in a general way too. I know that. I get that.
Right. Yeah. So I'm saying that all over scholarship.
I don't believe you. Read it. I don't believe you.
Stop saying that shit, huh?
Because I don't.
Well,
I don't.
He gonna have 100 examples of this shit. I already know you right about this shit. Come on.
No, I'm talking about dealing with slavery. I'm talking about dealing with slavery. That's the context you talking about.
Okay.
Because you just explained it,
Hold on, but it's still let him finish.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Chef may have those examples though, but that is a good point though, Chef, in reference to, in a sense, one group doing something specific to another. It don't have to necessarily be slavery though. It could be other things. So as long as he so again, make sure we make this real clear. We're not saying you can't generalize. I want to make sure you know that it's not our argument.
You already said that, Montoya. That's why you know what we're saying.
I'm lost. Understands because we can hear pretty a lot of generalizations, but if something is one group to another, I would like to see if it's just blanketed, even by Dr. Clark.
Negatively, if it's negative.
No, I'm not saying if it's negative. It could be positive too.
In general.
Positive too. If it's positive, it still should be. It should still be. It still should be group specific, even if it's positive, Chef.
So you have listen. So if I say that Africans, right, showed each other brotherhood, right, in their trade negotiations. If I said something like that, then you would say, no, you can't say that. That's wrong.
It's just kind of too general because
But you can say that because we're not talking about a specific incident. But if you're talking about a specific incident in a specific time with specific nations, bro, then you got to know who you're talking about.
I would disagree with that. Think about this, and you notice about
now y'all disagree with each other. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't want to. I'm not hear this. Think about this. I think you're jumping the gun because think about it. Remember how I used to get you out of Blackology? Because I says when it comes to the continent, it's silly to apply anything broadly to the continent when you realize how big the continent is, because whatever you're saying that we sometimes, because we like to romanticize certain things, that might have been in just a small part of the continent. But what we make the mistake of the day is we'll romanticize the good and the bad. So yes, Chef, it can't be said generally like that.
When we say Africa, when you say West Africa, do you know how much territory West Africa encompasses?
Which
was actually talking about the Congo.
You're making my point, so
you understand what I'm saying?
You're making my point.
What I'm saying is that if I can say there was slavery in Central Africa,
I can say that
Africans enslaved other Africans in Central Africa. You can say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Then I can explain deep down at which level where it happened and what particular tribes.
I get it.
Then you go deeper, and then you get to the individual.
Well, yeah, you feel like it's okay. I'm just saying. I just know that enslavement happened in all parts of the world, and you will never hear that other Asians enslaved other Asians in Central Asia. Like, there's a reason why you will never hear that, because it's not the proper context. There's only one place where that's the proper context. There's only one place in the entire world where that's proper, and that's Africa only. And there's a reason why.
So listen to W.E.B. Du Bois. Let me read a quote from W.E.B. Du Bois.
Oh, you left? Where's the book of John?
Where we at? I'm in the book.
Okay, all right.
You do that.
I thought you said John B. Clark, but go ahead, yo.
Just let him talk sometimes. You never let Chef talk.
All right, I'm going to just see if this context is wrong from W.E.B. Du Bois. He says, it was through Africa that Christianity became a religion of the world. In Africa, the last flood of Germanic invasions spent itself within hearing of the last gasp of Byzantium. And it was again through Africa that Islam became to play its great role of conqueror and civilizer. That's W.E.B. Du Bois, and the quote is from The Souls of Black Folk. Now listen, right here, he says, hold on. This is what he says. This, according to y'all, this would be wrong. Right?
No. Right now it's right. There's nothing wrong.
Hold on. It said.
Don't say according to me. But I just said. Right.
Let me read it again.
No, it's right. Right now it's right. You can read it again and see his context is correct. I'll be glad to show you the difference.
It was through Africa that Christianity.
That is correct context.
It was through Africa that Christianity became the religion of the world. That's correct.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
So it's not a specific nation.
Doesn't need to be in that situation because don't argue me. I know what I mean by context. So don't argue me about what I know exactly what I mean. You need to learn context in this situation, because referring to the area says it is through Africa, meaning the land of Africa. That's when generalizations is correct. If something happened in Europe, you would refer to Europe. I've never said you cannot generalize, but because you're reducing me to you can't generalize is why you don't realize that is when you generalize. That is a completely different context of saying something happened through the land of Africa. That's what that context is. You can generalize. You can say Africa. I said you can say Africa. You can
So
say Europe.
When Christianity is spoke of, right? Is it ever spoken of in the sense of Asia?
I don't think so, because
when its inception is in Asia.
But you will say, you'll hear that Europeans spread Christianity through Asia. You'll hear that.
What? Hold on. Now listen to what I just said.
Okay, go ahead.
Christianity started in Asia, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Right. But you never hear of Christianity spoken of with the continent of Asia. Now, W.E.B. Du Bois just used Christianity coming into Africa, right? But it was a specific country. He could have been
do you not get the difference between referring to the land of North America, the land of Africa is when you can generalize. That's different. When you would never hear the generalization is that when you start talking about the people, you'll never hear North Americans did this to other North Americans. You'll never hear that.
Call them Native Americans.
When you speak to the land,
American, he said it's Native American.
They call them Native Americans in general.
Okay, you're still but in the context that we're using Africa in, the way we're using it, then you should say North Americans did it to North Americans.
They do.
And the reason that sounds funny
American
is because that context is never used. That's why that sounds funny. And I'm saying that we use the continent of Africa in the incorrect context when we're referring to the people.
So you saying scholars don't use Native American slavery? You never heard that before?
I know. I said they don't say North Americans did it to North Americans is what I've said over and over and over. I've consistently said that. They never say North Americans did it to North Americans. So
it's cool to generalize Native American as in...
No, but you'll never hear them as North Americans, Chef.
Hold on, all of the indigenous
That's the point.
people, hold on, all of the indigenous people that inhabited North, Central, and South America get put under the general term as Native American, right?
But you'll never hear it as North Americans. You're just missing my point on purpose. You're literally being intentionally trying to be confused. If you don't get that, because here it is.
You're deliberately being argumentative. You're deliberately being argumentative.
But it's never. But why is it never put under North Americans did to North Americans? Why isn't it never put under?
Why they don't use North?
Okay, well, that's why you're missing my context. If you don't know why,
that doesn't make sense. I'm saying that they use a general. Can you say that all Native Americans enslaved other Native Americans? No, you can't. So that would be a wrong generalization also.
I've always told y'all, if you start using all with me, I can't talk to you. Because I'm not you can always win if you think that's what I'm saying. But what he's saying,
Matoya, what he's saying is that if I say Native Americans enslaved other Native Americans.
But why don't we say North Americans did other North Americans? Because you could. Because the way we're using the continent of Africa.
Forget about that, what I'm saying, bro.
Why can't you say forget about it? Because that would be the
because I'm trying to have a conversation outside of where you're directing me. You keep directing me back to North American. All right. So let's listen to what I'm saying. If I say Native Americans enslaved other Native Americans, is that a correct statement? Or do I need to say which Native American enslaved? Or do I need to be tribe specific?
I've never.
If I said Native Americans enslaved other Native Americans, would that be a correct statement? Or will I need to be tribe? Or will I need to be tribe?
I've never seen that. I've never seen that anywhere.
No. Forget about it.
I think you should be specific.
I know they say that. I'm not going to do that. I can show you that, but I want to know before I show it.
But I want to know, because it proves the point.
You're saying,
speak to the continent. We're calling the continent, bro.
Listen, hold on.
Speak to the continent.
Hold on. First, you argue that you haven't seen it.
But hold on. Is it the equivalent? Hold on. I'm not dancing. Y'all dancing. Is it the equivalent? Is it the equivalent saying North Americans did it to other North Americans? Is that not the continent? Is that not the equivalent?
It's too general.
No, it's not.
It's too general now.
But listen, no, it's not. I'll tell you what, Montoya, No, it's not.
Oh, did y'all hear that? It's too general now, y'all.
According to your context, Montoya.
No, I'm asking.
Montoya, listen.
Is it the equivalent of saying Africans did it to other Africans? Wouldn't the equivalent be North Americans did it to other North Americans?
That's what I thought.
I don't
Maybe I'm just tripping.
Listen, Montoya, listen.
No, is that not the equivalent, Sosa?
Montoya, listen.
What's the equivalent? What's the equivalent, Sosa?
You keep trying to bog me down. Listen. You can listen.
I
will give you that.
Listen
to what I'm saying, bro. Like you're talking. You can have that. You're right. All right. Now let's move forward.
And then how we moving forward? Why is that? Why?
I want to get you have it because now
I need to know why is that? If that's the equivalent, why would you say Africans do it to other Africans?
Because it's not a continent, right? Are we good?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Because it's not a continent. Are we good with that?
So why would you say it about Africans?
Are we good?
No, we're good with what? What are we good? What's that? Well, I need to understand your that. What's
you asked me to explain why it's different. Now explain it's different.
No, I didn't ask you. I said no. I asked you. What I asked you was, we don't say South Americans. I said, is it the equivalent? South Americans did it to other South Americans.
All right.
Great. Is that not? Hold on. Is Africans doing it to other Africans? Is it the equivalent? So
no, it's not.
That's the equivalent.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not the equivalent. Okay, well then you just said you ain't you bullshit when you say you're good with it then. You was bullshitting.
Right.
You just got caught bullshitting there.
All right, so you won.
You just got caught up bullshitting right now. No, you're trying to move on, but you just caught up bullshitting. You said it's not the equivalent.
All right,
you was bullshitting.
All right, you won. You
no, we ain't won. No, we ain't won. So we did in the dark, and then there's no discussion then.
No, I want to move forward. I want to ask.
No, you can't. How you? Hold on. How do we move forward? Hold on. I want to know. I want to know. No. If that's so, you're bullshitting on you won. You're bullshitting on you won.
You gotta let him talk, Montoya.
He's bullshitting.
Stopping me from asking the question.
No, he's bullshitting. No, hold on.
If he's calm down. Hey, Montoya, if he's wrong, listen. If he's wrong, let him be wrong.
If South Americans,
he knows where I'm going with it.
If Africans did it to Africans,
Montoya, he's not going to be able to talk. Listen,
this is the equivalent.
Hold on, Montoya, he's not going to be able to talk his way out of it. If he's wrong, you got him. Just let him talk.
He's been as long as he's going to because that's what we're doing.
Catch him at the
No, I've already conceded. I want you.
So why would you say Africans to Africans?
Because I want your perspective on another argument. Can I do that?
Okay.
In the context of Native Americans slaving other Native Americans, would that be a correct statement? Or should we be tribe-specific?
I've never seen it that way. I've never seen it that way. When I study,
regardless of whether
it tells me which tribes did what. Was it
regardless of whether
that's how I've always seen it in history, and that's what I've said from day one.
No. Okay, so regardless, so you're saying that would be an incorrect statement, right?
I'm just telling you when I studied it, I've seen it specific.
I'm not. I didn't.
I'm just telling you how I've always seen it.
I'm asking you if it was displayed that way, then that would be an incorrect statement, right?
I'm gonna say that's incorrect.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't say that's incorrect.
You just said that you.
No, I just said I said I've never heard South Americans enslave other South Americans. I've never heard North Americans enslave other North Americans. So why do we say that about the African continent?
Going back to you know what?
I just said that's what I said. You asked me what I just said, and I said that's what I just said.
All right,
that's what I just said.
All right, let me play this. Y'all see it on the screen. Let me play this. Hold on. All right. I can't believe you don't get that though, so that's crazy. You don't get that. Like he's talking about continents.
I already I don't understand. Like y'all, if y'all think I ain't
act like somebody don't understand. Like
that's what pissed me off the most. I swear to God, like y'all act like a nigga ain't read or nothing. Like I just like
I'm not acting like that. Okay.
I learned how to read on YouTube. Why the whole world refers to the continent that way. We just heard it tonight from specifically.
Yeah, I just showed why they do it. It's colonialism. Here you go.
Yeah, that's the only reason we do it.
I don't do it. I said from the jump, I'm gonna speak like the experts speak, bro.
No, the experts don't speak. Okay, all right. So this is what I'm gonna do, yo. And you get a chance. I'm gonna show you an expert. Here you go. I'm gonna play an expert. Here's an expert. Listen up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you how the experts speak. Okay.
Historically, slavery is something that people inflict on others, right? You don't, generally speaking, enslave people like yourself. Now, how those borders are drawn may change. So if you go back to ancient Athens, for example, it would have been rare for an Athenian to enslave another Athenian, but he would have had no qualms about enslaving a Spartan or a Corinthian or whatever. There's a kind of notion that you'll hear a lot of people say that Africans enslaved their own people, and in fact, they didn't. In our imagination today, this is one place inhabited by one race of people, but that wouldn't have made much sense to people at the time. That Africa was and is a dizzyingly diverse continent with literally thousands of distinct ethnic and linguistic groups, and so there's conflict and and contestation between those groups, and that grows dramatically. That conflict grows dramatically in the course of the centuries of the slave trade.
This lazy context that was given to us from the Berlin Conference is why experts. That's why experts say it now. That's
Can
why
I
we
hear that again?
That's crazy.
Say what?
Can you say that again?
Crazy, Sosa? How is it crazy? The gut brother.
I'm not. Montoya, I already told you, like, I'm ignoring that point, but I'm gonna speak like the experts speak. Like, I'm gonna tell you, do that shit, work on it from the top down, let that shit sprinkle down to the Negroes.
So what you just heard? What is what? So you don't agree with what you just heard?
I want to hear it again.
I understand what was said, bro. We already, like, Unc already knows that we understand that shit, bro. And I can show you specifically African people enslaving their own people, bro. We done went down that road, bro.
No, we ain't went down that road. No.
That's
you
what
just heard. So you
did.
disregard what you just heard, then, because that's what you would have to do to say what you just said.
We can show you cases of Africans enslaved and Pacific groups enslaving their own people. Do your argument fall apart?
No, it don't fall.
No, it don't fall.
Y'all in a no-lose situation then.
No, it don't fall apart because what happened is what you're gonna show us which tribe did it. And that's how
If I can show you the same tribe enslaving somebody that's of the same tribe.
Yeah, that doesn't make it fall apart, brother. Doesn't make it fall apart at all. So if you understand what you just heard from the expert, if you understand what you just heard from the specific, because here it is. Here y'all have missed. I'm not saying, I don't know what, but I'll say this clear. I'm not saying that no group ever enslaved their own people. That's not what the fuck I'm saying at all. I'm talking about what you just heard the expert say, that it would be crazy to refer to Africans doing other Africans, and he gave a context of what happened in Athenians and things. And so the context,
he's talking specifically about Africans enslaving their own people. That's what the context of it. So he's talking about their own.
No, he's talking about that you don't say Africans to Africans because you would need to be specific, is what that man just said.
He said
play it again, play it again,
Play it again. Yeah.
Okay.
And
First of all,
this the white dude, right? Because man, you done went over this before. This the white boy, right?
Yeah, here you go. This is James T. Campbell. He's an American historian.
Right.
He's a professor, right, of the University of Stanford University. Campbell graduated from the University of Yale. Okay. He also, shit.
It don't matter what his background. Go ahead, play it. So we can get
it do matter. It always matters to me. It don't matter to y'all. But I'm letting you know this website right here. Here you go. Brown's University. Brown and Slavery and Justice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here you go. This whole day. This is shit. This is baby right here. I am, dude, but I'm not going to do. Y'all the ones just say stuff. I don't do that.
You're not trying to disprove your source.
I know. I said I was going to play expert, and let me do it the way I do it. The way I do it is I show experts, and I prove they experts. What y'all do is you say it. I'm not saying it.
We already went over this video before.
No, we haven't. You made that up.
I thought you said replay it. I thought you was replaying it.
I've never went over that video before, Chef. I was holding that video.
Man, you did. See, you got amnesia.
Replay it, Chef. Are we not replaying?
Let him replay it.
You talking about in the back chat?
I thought we was replaying the one just now. What's going on? I'm so confused.
Oh, in the back chat. I'm going to play it right now. Here you go.
And the dude's going to say why it's silly to say that.
Yep, here you go.
Here we go. Now his shit don't work.
It do. It's coming.
Slavery is something that people inflict on others. Right? You don't, generally speaking, enslave people like yourself. Now, how those borders are drawn may change. So if you go back to ancient Athens, for example, it would have been rare for an Athenian to enslave another Athenian, but he would have had no qualms about enslaving a Spartan or a Corinthian or whatever. There's a kind of notion that you'll hear a lot of people say that Africans enslaved their own people, and in fact, they didn't. In our imagination today, this is one place inhabited by one race of people, but that wouldn't have made much sense to people at the time. That Africa was and is a dizzyingly diverse continent with literally thousands of distinct ethnic and linguistic groups, and so there's conflict and contestation between those groups, and that grows dramatically. That conflict grows dramatically in the course of the centuries of the slave trade.
Yeah.
Right.
So what you're listening to, and it's not a one example. If he says it's rare that the Athenians would have enslaved the other Athenians, rare doesn't mean that it never happened.
Right.
And he says, he said, but the reason you would never say the continent of Africans enslaved themselves, because today we imagine Africa is one place. The today is what explained to us today. It's the only reason you can get hits for Africans enslaved other Africans. The appropriate context for those Athenians is who are all Greece. He's talking about it because when I studied history throughout, which I love history, it's always done in specifics. That dude broke down Athenians versus Spartans versus, I think, whatever the group he said. And so when you're talking about the groups, and when you go look up which Native American tribes, you can go see specifically who did it. That's how you will see it everywhere. The only place you will see it in general, the only place you will see history generalized like that is in the continent of Africa, the only place in the entire world. The only place in the entire world where you see this generalization used.
Okay, the video's entitled what? The Africans enslaved their own people, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe said, I don't know.
That's what the title was.
No, I didn't know the title. Yeah, I didn't know the title of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
the guy literally said they
did. The
did.
conversation is centered around Africans enslaving their own people, right? And he said that, because the Athenians and the Spartans are all the same, like the same group.
They're rarely. So he said rarely they would do it.
No.
So you could have an example of them doing it. So if you give me an example of one group doing another group, it doesn't change the context of what that man said. So getting an example of a tribe doing it, it doesn't blow up our argument, because
he's trying to see another argument, Montoya. I know he's trying to do.
He's trying to do the one example.
You can't even create an argument because it's like, whenever I try to explain, he just rapid-fire more words and just keep it.
You've already said it. You already said that your point was, if you could show that it did their own people, would it blow up our argument? I said, absolutely not. It won't blow up the argument, because the argument is to learn to be specific about the continent, like every place in the world is being done about. And so just because there's examples of a tribe enslaving their own people, it does not, you will refer to it by the tribe or by the group. You wouldn't refer to them by their continent.
All right, man.
That's what that dude just broke down to us.
That's what started the whole argument, though, right?
No.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're here today.
Kind of started the whole argument, Chef. Yeah, it did.
The argument started when I said that slavery was a global concept, and you and Kofi was like, nah, hell, I don't agree with that. And that,
see, that's what I don't understand, right? And I'm serious with this, yo. Like, as much as y'all supposed to read, I'm gonna say supposed to read, y'all gonna sit here and tell me that you're gonna actually take dude, I got 100 sources to say y'all crazy. Don't make me read them all right now. I swear I will. Y'all gonna actually say, hold on, this is what y'all doing. Y'all taking European slavery, watch this, which is an entity.
European slavery.
I'm talking about
that's what they call it, bro.
I'm talking about slavery.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, if I make the comment, if I say slavery is global, how do you then inject your own understanding
I'm
of
injecting because no one says that but you.
He just called the European slavery, though.
Slavery is a global concept. That's what they say, nigga. I read the books. I'm not. This is not my own.
You reading a Belgium and a Portuguese.
You saying what you wouldn't be saying Africans enslaved Africans.
No,
because you ain't seeing that in no books.
I said slavery is a bro. I already told you I read that. But Montoya, I read what the expert said, bro. Like I read books.
Know that Africans
I don't know what you're talking
trade.
about, Montoya, bro. I have
no
idea.
Show me
apparently my books. All my books are done now.
Show me what the experts are saying that. Show me, give me.
When we show that Africans participated in the slave trade, now it comes down to our language. You can't say Africans enslaved other Africans. The point was generally that we made was Africans participated in the slave trade.
Yeah,
now we bogged down. Now we bogged down, and y'all can't say Africans enslaved Africans. All right, hey, Sosa, let's not ever say that again. Let's let them have that fucking point because they're going to act like they won the conversation over a technical semantics game, right? Like they don't get what we're saying. So y'all can have that point. If I ever say Africans enslaved other Africans, y'all can take a half a point off of my statement. But don't act like my overall statement about the fact is not correct. Maybe I
never did that, Chef.
Maybe
I've never done that.
Like y'all, right? Maybe I'm so used to using the word Africa in general because I didn't heard it, like y'all said, being used like that over and over is a part of our cultural context to use Africa in that way. It is, like y'all said.
Yep.
So we're not fucking up as horrible as y'all acting like we are. We're not. That's fucking crazy. But like I said, okay, y'all can have that point. If y'all think that's such a horrible thing to do, right? Disprove that Africans participated in the slave trade because that's the main fucking point.
Okay, so be quiet. Be quiet.
Go ahead. Because that's what I'm trying to disprove with all of the goddamn the Papal Bulls.
I thought you said go ahead.
Go ahead.
You sound like Thomas Willendorf from Gutenberg, Duke of Gutenberg. When you say from the Pepper's Bull to
use the Pepper's Bull.
From the Pepper's Bulls, right? You gotta say it like this, from the Pepper's Bulls. And you stand up on a damn thing in front of a bunch of white people and you holding a thing. You say, I'm Thomas Gutenberg from the Pepper's Bull to King Alfonso II, the Africans sold slaves.
Right.
That's what you sound like, bro. Like you left on a whole. You left out colonization. You left out westernization. You left out the Pepper's Bulls. You left out the Berlin Conference. You left out the Scramble for Africa. You left out the wars, the deceit. It's crazy to me, bro. You can't say it, dog.
So
you
have to explain all that.
Yes, you do.
But here it is. That's what Inherit.
So if somebody walked up to me and said, "So to the African participant in the slave trade, I gotta go from fucking 650 AD to the fucking Berlin Conference before I said
yep.
No, here's what Inherit was saying. He said there's a European perspective. Here it is. There's a European perspective and there's an African perspective, which is how all
the
things.
Slave trade. We're not talking about. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all comprehension is where I said participate in the slave trade, not what slavery is. The actual slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade,
brother. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, brother. And I'm
saying, hold on. Meaning, did they help? Did they get African bodies and bring them to the ships? Did they load them on the dock? Did they march them from the inland?
Yeah, they did that.
To the outports?
Definitely did that. Definitely did.
End of the discussion, bro.
But you shouldn't be saying it in the context of Africa, for one. Two,
I'm not on that Africa shit, bro. You gonna kill me with the Africa?
Well, today you're saying you say
I'm
which
not,
group.
I'm not gonna do that shit, bro.
So what would be the reason? Let me ask you this though.
I could
What
see
would be the
I'm
reason?
gonna get off the point, Montoya.
No, hold on.
I mean, Sosa, just concede it. Let him have it.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying,
know,
wait, I'm just trying to figure this out,
who
right?
participated in slave trade on that
Hold
continent?
on for a minute, Sosa. So it's to me.
Y'all going for a while. I want to get one more. I got to know for my choice so I can know how to say it right. Who participated in the slave trade on that land, man? Montoya,
The Europeans. Everybody else was tricked,
hornswoggled,
robbed, steal, cheated.
Other than the Europeans, Montoya, who participated in this?
But he can Europeans in that context.
So now people that's referred to as Angolans participated, right? We know some Ghanaians participated. We know a lot of specific.
It wasn't called none of that at the time. So
yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah.
You fucking it up.
Yeah, it is. And I'm here. I am fucking it up. Hey, remember, Chef. Look. I'm admitting I'm fucking up. Remember, I'm also admitting. Remember, we had this dialogue on the same show. I said that's why I said if you're gonna talk to the tribes, because that's what it should be, right? That's exactly how it should be said. Because everywhere else around the world, that's exactly how it was done. We should give the continent of Africa that same respect. So I said, I don't know my ancestors the way that you, because remember y'all said, what if you find out your ancestors was there? And I say, well, I get it. Remember that? So I'm being very consistent here. I haven't moved. I haven't changed my position. I am saying the continent deserves the respect, because the reason it doesn't get the respect is because that context was given to us via the Berlin Conference.
Yo, you got Anthony Winslow. You want to say something, Anthony?
I was just saying, man, that shit sound like to me, man, it's kind of like a crack game. To me, like how that's what it sounded like to me. Like I ain't gonna say they took away the jobs. I think black people was kind of starving and struggling, and that's all they had to fucking make money. But I mean, I Chef made a good point. I mean, basically he's saying they participated. I think 100 years to 200 years from now, they're gonna be like, shit, African Americans sold dope or crack to African Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They ain't even.
That I think it's a correct statement.
How?
Yeah. No, I know. But you wouldn't
so
be like
African Americans are criminals. That's a true statement, yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it like that. I'll just say that it's the same context. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, okay. I wouldn't be like them niggas was. I wouldn't say the Africans was balling. Maybe some of them, and I think in some cases they was like, "Look, I'm flossing." Huh?
Anthony, why you think I'm saying I'm not listening to them niggas? Because they plan, and I'm gonna give the example that everybody missing. I'm gonna do it again.
You admitted to selling drugs.
No, I'm gonna give it again.
And I know where you sold drugs at. Hold on. I know the type of people live in that area.
Hold on. You got Chevron.
You sold drugs to African Americans, yo.
Okay, yeah. Look, you got Chevron. You got Chevron. You got Montoya, right? And you got me, and I am Sosa, right? Anthony, you are an inspiring artist. We say that nigga got talent. Hold on, right? Chevron, we all agree that we not giving this nigga nothing. We not giving him his intellectual property. We taking all his houses, all his cars, right? And we shooting these niggas up with dope. We ain't doing nothing for him, right? Then we span out. We say, Anthony, look, man, we got a contract for you, bro. We're gonna give you 80 to 90% of your intellectual property, right? We're gonna make sure you get the rights to all your songs, right? And all that, and we're good, and let's enter into a partnership. You say, man, I've never seen guys like you before. Matter of fact, I've never seen guys like you with that. You say, well, I'm gonna bring some friends along. I got some friends, and you go get your friends, yo, and we enter them into the same type of agreement. So what I'm asking you now, Anthony, is that agreement that I made with you, are we fucking lying and making it up just for you? Or are we genuine in what we're doing?
9 times out of 10, you bullshitting. You know what I'm saying?
No, you didn't just hear me? I'm gonna do it again, because maybe I wasn't speaking right. Montoya, Chef, Sosa, and me, we saying we gonna rob that nigga because he ain't got a soul, right? We taking all his money. We not giving him no intellectual property because we just designed a law that say it's ours because they not the boogly boo. That's our religion, boogly boo. We taking that. Then we come up on you. We say, brother, Brother, let us teach you boogly boo. And we heard you were great singers, right? And we heard all y'all great singers. So we got contract. Let's enter into a business deal. We're going to give you 90% of your property. We're going to run things right because we need investment. We need to get some of our money back, right? So you don't mind us getting that 20%, right? And why don't you get some people to bring them along? You go get some people and you bring them in and we enter in other deals with them too. So I'm asking you again, Anthony, that contract, that business deal you just signed with us, at any moment was we ever plan on giving you any of the shit we said? We was really trying to rob you from the jump. Do you get that?
Right.
So watch this, Anthony. Watch this though, Anthony. 300 years from now, right? People are now saying Anthony participated in the bringing other artists to these niggas. Would that be right, bro? Because that's what I'm saying. Is that right, Anthony?
It's not right, but it's under
Anthony,
contract that I fucked myself
you don't get it though, Anthony? You didn't fuck yourself. Anthony, you never fucked yourself, Anthony. We deceived you.
Are you letting them answer the question or are you guiding to your answer? Because
I'm saying, Anthony. Anthony.
No, I understand what he's saying. I'm saying like in the line of business, but it's hard to construct that back in those days. You know what I'm saying?
Because they went all the way, Anthony. They went all. They made a rule, Anthony. It's called the international law. That means, Anthony, you and none of your friends were sitting in the boardrooms with us.
Right. When we didn't have a clue.
Hold on, yo. We back on. I'm sorry, everybody. The stream clicked off. There's 100-something people back in here. Hit the like button so this video can go up. And y'all having a problem with Africans enslaving other Africans. I'm sorry to tell y'all. That's what happened, and y'all need to grow up and accept that shit. Go ahead, finish your point.
Anthony, you're having a problem, Anthony, right? Because you actually helped bring other singers to us, bro, and you're having a problem understanding that it's your fault, Anthony. Really, Anthony?
Listen. I get both sides of.
How is it even both? It never, you know what both sides is though, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
I mean that you were sitting in the board. Look, you were sitting in the boardroom with us, Anthony.
You leading him to one.
I'm trying to say, yo, there is not both. Listen,
I object, John. God damn, leading the witness. God damn.
Just tell him what you want him to say, yo.
Anthony, you know what, Anthony? Listen. You've been listening to them for so long. Damn. Do you really think it's both sides, Anthony? First of all, we got you outnumbered, Anthony.
Do like this. Say, Anthony, just say that. That's all you want him to say.
If I can get on record, I'm not going because again, I'm not going as far as Unc to act like there's no culpability. That's not where I'm going.
Yeah,
I still want to
say it quick. Just gonna say it quick, Montoya.
I want to still be speaking in the context of who actually did it to who.
Wait, Montoya.
Because that's the context that every place else. When I go study enslavement in other continents, I can see exactly who did it to who.
Right.
Montoya, you realize you gotta say it fast, though, right?
I'm sorry, say it again.
You realize you gotta say it fast. When you say there's some culpability, you gotta say it fast, and you gotta keep moving.
Let me ask you a question. Hey, was the African?
I'm not trying to play that game. Like for example, one time, Chef was breaking down exactly who the tribes Nzinga was with, and and when she was doing the Portuguese. I ain't got no argument at that because that's the facts. That's how it's supposed to be.
Was they? Hold on. Was they Africans?
Like I said, I'm not. If we're gonna,
I'm asking you a question. Was they Africans?
If we're gonna start calling the Cherokee Native Americans,
he don't answer questions. He don't answer questions, Chef.
I don't even want to ask. I don't even want to ask.
They are Africans, but as long as we're gonna start talking about Athenians, as long as we're gonna start calling Athenians and Greece Asia Minor, like if we're gonna start, it's the wrong context.
Asia Minor.
Well, I'm terrible with geography, but you know my point.
No, you gotta be specific. You can't mess that up. That's crazy.
I don't know the geography right. I'm just saying whatever that area was, you're never gonna refer to it as the area. You're gonna
Let me ask you this.
You're gonna correctly call them Greece because that's how you see it in history.
Okay, that's
cool. You're gonna correctly call them when the Cherokee enslaved another tribe. You're gonna see it specifically which tribe did it.
If I say Native American, I'm not wrong, yo.
And no, they do not. They don't say.
But I'm not wrong if I say North Americans did it to North Americans either, am I?
No, I wouldn't have a big problem with that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have I know you can't have a big problem, but why you never hear it though?
Problem with that.
Well, yeah, no, you don't. But you never hear it though. You never hear it though. There's only one continent you hear that. It's only one continent in the entire world.
So why do we call the British Europeans?
Because they're Europeans.
Exactly.
Right, but so you won't ever hear. But you can't go fuck. Show me a book.
Hold on.
Show me a book. Show me a book. Show me a book that shows Europeans enslaved other Europeans.
I don't have no books.
You won't. There's a reason why. Why we disregard. You won't. We know when the British.
Doesn't have to be a book. I already showed you that they speak that way, and you disregarded it.
No. I didn't. You didn't show me that. Show me
the
book.
All you gotta do is look up European slavery, and they'll talk about Europeans enslaving other Europeans. I already did that before.
No, pull it up right now.
I did it last time, bro.
No, it ended up being white people.
No, it did not. It said European.
Yeah, it was. It was white people. Look it up again.
Why would they say white people?
Yeah. Look up Europeans enslaved other Europeans. Look that up. So.
And you said it ended up being white people.
I want him to look up Europeans enslaved other Europeans. Look that up and see what comes up. You can't look up no other continent. There's only one continent you can do this.
Listen, I'm asking you though, are the Ghanaians Africans?
Bruh, it ain't hard to say people are from their continent.
Right. So if you refer,
however, there's only one place where you would say the continent did the whole did this to the other people on the continent.
Not saying that. That's not why is it?
There's only one place. Because there's only one place. When you go look at Britain, you go study Britons and what happened to them. It's always going to be in the context of Britons.
Right, but are they Europeans? Are the British Europeans?
But you would never say nobody in the world says Europeans did other Europeans. Nobody in the world ever says North America did other America. So just understand the equivalent would be you saying that. You would need to say that all the time when you talk about other places. Refer to them only by their continent.
Yeah, because I think like if you say Africans enslaved Africans, you would be getting it all mixed up. You'd be thinking like the Congo and people in the Congo enslaved the Ghanaians or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to know who enslaved who, so you can be direct on.
Exactly.
You know who is what, and what's in debt for what. Well, just to break it down, you can start off like your argument, Chef, is basically saying that Africans participated in the slave trade. So you just being like, yo, Africans did this shit to other Africans, which will be right technically. But then if you want to get more deeper into it, you need to start breaking down specifically, which you did in your articles that you read. So that's
dope.
I agree with
that's what should be done all the time. Because that's how it's done everywhere else in the entire world. When you read it, it's always done that way.
Which is the same argument that we said that we started off with a general and then
but you keep saying started off, but nobody ever generalizes any other continent.
We started off with a general conversation and then we went in depth. We went to the next layer. Then you go to another layer.
So just start at the layer.
We're starting with a land.
Everybody else got that respect.
No.
The entire world gets that respect.
No. We're talking about slavery. Slavery where? We're talking about slavery on the continent of Africa.
So then we're talking about African. So no. Why say Africans?
But see how you just keep talking, bro. You sound like
why say Africans though, Sosa?
I'll let you talk.
There's nowhere else that's gonna be said.
You said I'll let you talk for like 10 minutes straight, and then the minute I start talking, like you're talking at the same time I'm talking. Like that's just disrespectful, bro. Like for real.
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
You keep saying, but I'm just saying, are you?
And then you cut right back in right before I start talking.
I'm hear this. What I want to know is, will you at least recognize that the generalization that you're using is only used on Africa? Will you say that first?
Like, if you tell it to me 1,000 times, bro. You don't think by this point I don't understand what you're saying?
No, I'm asking.
If I don't understand what you said,
I've never heard you say. I've never heard you say that it is the only continent that's you done on. I've never heard you say that.
Only continent is done on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now we're having a conversation about slavery, right? Slavery where? In Africa, right? So now we're talking about African enslaving other Africans, right?
Why?
That's another level. So then you go to the next level. Which Africans? We're talking about the Congo. Hold on. The Congo's pretty big. We're at in the Congo. Now we're talking about specifically King Alfonso them, Queen Nzinga, and the Ndongo people. Then you get to, right? And then you get down to another level when you get to Alfonso and the actual captain name. So it's the levels you start at. And then you keep, and with more complexity, you go down another level and another level and another level. Right? And that's how the conversation.
So you don't think it's so
that was beautiful. That is.
Okay. So why is it so it's the only country that context is used, and you think that's okay? You think that's okay?
Slavery wasn't okay.
Yeah, no, but I want to know, is it okay that there's one? I want to know from y'all if we're going to talk about this.
Y'all got more problems with using Africa and slavery together versus fucking Africans participating in the slave trade. I done heard more pushback on our use of the word fucking African than Africans actually participating in the goddamn slave trade.
I think
disagreement with us using the fucking word than what actually happened.
Far from semantics.
No, I think he's trying to say that, like, if you want to talk about let's say if you're talking about like the holy wars or whatever, like he's saying like they don't start off when you look at reading the books in the holy wars, they don't start off saying Europeans killed other Europeans. And they start talking about Pacific. Like I get what he's saying, but I think like in this topic, the way like you really can't argue with Chef and Sosa about how they present their presentation, because it's not wrong on how they do it as long as they get into the context. Like if you was saying they just kept saying Africans did Africans, then I would get what you were saying. But if you was like technically, like let's say if you was to do an essay for a report, documentary report, and they started off like they're given the sources that they show was, quite credible. So, I just say that the way they ended it, like basically they had the argument of essay, and then they ended with the conclusion of breaking down which tribe did what and who participated in what. So like I respect it, man. To me, I feel like it would definitely be a passing grade, and in my standpoint.
So what's happening is that the only reason we even make that context is because it was handed to us. So we all have talked that way. The entire world refers to the continent that way. It's like I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, you feel like it's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's not just simply that it's disrespectful. It's absolutely incorrect. Because if it wasn't incorrect, then we would every place in the world would start with that context. Mm-hmm. So and it's not just simply that's here's the part. Here's the issue. It's like what you just said is absolutely correct, brother. But here's the issue from a standpoint of us as African Americans. Because the context of Africa has been given to the world that way, and us specifically being descendants of that location, there was a reason why they give us that context. And it's cool that Sosa and Chef they disregard the reason, but when you understand that the reason is intentional, like Unc explained earlier, and I don't know if you heard what he was explaining, but it's intentional so that you can equate it to feeling like ancestrally Africans was doing something to themselves in a way that no other group has ever done.
And so I love it. That's the context. Keep doing this.
Never use that.
Montoya, I want you to use that whip right there every time niggas do it. And this is why. Because their whole Egypt shit, right, is dependent on African, right? So they keep saying, look, this is how they want to say. Yeah, the Egyptians was Africans, right? So that gives us the note that
right. I've done that with you, Chef. We've been on the same page on that.
These fucking Egyptians, they were black. You dig what I'm saying?
I remember I called Uncle for that last time.
They used that shit, right? They use that shit. So I'm glad. I want you to every time.
Did I not know? Did I not do that on the last one?
No, I'm saying every time they do that, I need a meme or just your face, because every time I'm gonna just put that shit on the screen. Like y'all niggas are playing games. You feel?
Yeah. Chef, did I not do that on the last time we was together? Did I not do what you just said?
That shit crazy.
But Chef,
talking about
when you
Egypt,
agree
Egypt
that
stuff?
I said the exact same thing, I brought it up on my own the last time and didn't even know wasn't on. Did I not do this?
Jumps back and
Chef, but did I not do this?
Yeah, you definitely did.
So here it is. So when I did it, I have been consistently breaking down why we should not use a context that was given to us by white supremacists. It matters. It matters if we're going to teach our people going forward. We need to at least be the ones that don't do what that cut said, where you just lump it all together, because that's what happens.
But
go ahead.
And when Soy Kiyata is a damn genealogist or some shit, right?
Right.
Now when he explained the Egyptians and he called them, he said they're Africans. So it gets to a point where you say, okay, is this guy wrong? And according to he can't listen. So now we even gotta correct the goddamn scholars.
Exactly. That's my point. That's what the group should be doing.
But that's
you can't
what
say that's your
saying.
point. Then you rejected my argument of the scholars.
Right.
What the scholars
Exactly. Get him, Sosa. Get him.
Crazy.
No, I'm saying we should correct the scholars. If this dude, as you're telling me, is a scholar,
and I told you when I told you the scholars do it, you said, "Show me what the scholars do it."
No, that ain't what I said. I said this is what exactly when you gonna remember it. I said I know the scholars are doing it. They got the same context from the shit Unc just said. That was my exact word.
Yeah, and then you came back later on and doubled, and then went the other way with it.
I asked you to show me where they're saying Europeans and did it to other Europeans. Is what I asked you to show me. That's two different comments. So I ain't gonna tell you. You know I'm gonna be straight.
That Europeans it came later, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I said,
initially I said when you first said it, I said I know the scholars are saying it. I said it over and over. Yeah, I said that. So it's no. So by the time I said show it to me, I was specifically saying show me where they're saying Europeans did it to other Europeans. Is what I specifically was asking you.
I ain't gonna go to it. I can just show you. I can show you it done just in conversation, bro. I put the video. I put the video in the back chat. The guy, even another Native American, talk about Native American slave.
No, like I said, the context is like that Native American does not.
I'm not gonna go there with the Europeans doing European. I read too many books to know that's what's. So that's what.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Show me. I'm still challenging you on that. I'm still challenging you on that. I'm challenging you on
like Native American is not general like African.
General
That's general as hell, Montoya. Stop that,
bro. You're arguing me when I've been saying you can generalize. That's why W. Du Bois conversation wasn't the same.
How do you generalize?
I'm not saying you can't generalize. I keep saying
it's just what
my
Africa
point.
You can't.
No, W. Du Bois used it in the right context. I'm just telling you, y'all are using it into incorrect context, and because the reason, not just y'all are, that was giving to us to refer to Africa that way when they colonized it and as what was the word used partitioned it. This is the period. Before this period, no one knows to refer to it the way we're mistakenly referring to it now. And I'm asking us as a group to be better than something that was given to us by white supremacy. And so we should talk. We should talk.
Good.
Hey, Chef.
But you're just holding into it. But just know that that's what the context was given.
Because for me, it's not as negative as you making it.
This got nothing to do. Hold on. Oh, Chef. I gladly tell don't use Egyptians as Africans. So I am consistently saying don't use it. Negative or positive has nothing to do with me consistently showing you I'm saying don't use the shit.
He's saying that terminology, the way you take it, how you take it offensively, I don't see it that way. I don't think
but you can't. I'm just saying negative or positive has nothing to do with using the context wrong.
I'm saying
so me being offended got nothing to do with the point that's being made.
Is that whether you feel like the context is wrong, right? So can you show me where are you getting that from?
You just heard the white dude explain why an example of why you wouldn't say that.
I'm asking you that where are you getting it from?
So I'm getting it from.
Are you making that statement on your own?
I'm getting it from. I had already studied all the shit that Unc showed tonight. That's part of my history, and that's what I mean by they gave us the context to refer to Africa.
Is it a conclusion that you came through to your of your own faculty?
So through study, I used to refer to Africa like we're doing now, until I heard examples like what Unc played today.
Right.
And it was hearing stuff like that made me learn to put it in the correct context. Because that's not I had never heard the one that Unc played, but I read it somewhere. Before you had
that epiphany. Before you had that epiphany, were there scholars saying that? What you're saying?
Yes, I don't know how many times I gotta say to you, Sosa. I've never argued that scholars don't say it. I've been saying it all night. That scholars say it.
Right. So this is.
I've been saying that all night. I've never disagreed with you on it.
Right. So listen, what I'm saying to you is that it is a brand new argument that you have crafted.
No, it's not. I got it from that dude. I bet you that video that Unc played is probably. No.
I'm saying is that the argument that you made, you just said you came to it of your own, right? So you cannot hold us to something that you crafted. That's why I kept saying.
Why do you keep saying I crafted? We just heard another dude. I got it from somebody like the dude we heard today, but he ain't the only dude.
That's not what he meant. That's not what he meant. That's why I kept saying that's not what he's talking about.
The dude said
the title of the video is "Did Africans Enslave Their Own People?" It's not about whether you refer to whether you use it referring to people as a continent. Like you don't say North American enslaved.
So brother, if we listen to that video again, so while it is specifically titled, listen, while it's specifically titled that way, the guy specifically says you would not, he literally says in it, you got to go back to the times and no one would refer to it like that.
No, so what he's saying in the video, he said that generally you don't enslave your own people. You inflict slavery.
Yeah, I guess he said that, but you can't skip over him.
This is the context. You love context. He said, generally, you don't enslave your own people. The title of the video is "Did Africans Enslave Their Own People?" He said, normally you inflict slavery on somebody else. So he would say the Athenians enslaved the Spartans.
Rarely did they enslave other Athenians.
Right, because that would be their own. That would be.
What did he say? What did he say right before he broke down
the Athenian? Because the context, the Athenian enslaving another Athenian would be like the Ndongo enslaving the Ndongo, and normally they don't do that. The Ndongo was enslaved the Mangala, somebody different.
So you right with him saying that? That same guy said you would not say Africans enslaved their own. Did he not say that too? And then he explained what you're now agreeing.
Right. In the context of the fact that, because when you say Africa, because he said Africans is a big place, right?
Yeah, he said we in our minds, we think of Africa as one place, is what he said.
Right.
So when you ask him the question, did Africans enslave themselves? His answer was they did not. That's what he said. He did say that.
Talking from the context of them enslaving their own is the title of the damn video. So to say Africans enslaved to slave the Africans, saying the Africans enslaved their own. They didn't see themselves as Africans, so they slaved other people in Africa. So he's talking about people. That's what he's talking about. So he's saying that in general, when Africans enslaved people in Africa, they enslaved other tribes. They didn't enslave people of their own tribe.
Exactly what he meant.
I know that's exactly what he meant. And I just so you should learn from that that's how you should speak. That's what you should take from that.
But he wasn't saying what y'all saying.
Oh my God.
What you mean? I'm saying it now. Like he's saying.
No.
Don't
but
say
before
it
that,
in
before
that context.
that, you said that he was saying what you're saying. I just showed you that he's not saying what you're saying. Do you get that?
Yes, he is.
All right.
He is.
All right.
He absolutely is.
I'm done. I can't.
Yeah, he's absolutely saying that.
I'm on mute. I'm good.
Yeah, he's absolutely saying that.
Hey, Chef Frank.
What's up, Andy?
Hey, I wanted to beat you up on that that shit you was talking about Taekwondo and shit, man.
Oh Lord, what I say about Taekwondo?
About the martial arts shit, man. No, but for real, I get both of y'all point of view on that. I get Unc's point of view, and I get you guys' point of view. Man, I think both of them is excellent presentations and great talking points. I mean, to be honest, man, neither group, neither side, man, is average Joes, and I think y'all would have tore somebody apart up if they had their shit together. You know what I'm saying? So I think both parties, man, presented great information, and I think that's what this show is about. And neither parties presented anything that was pseudo off the top. Any other, show or YouTube, place where you go watch videos don't even have that shit. For both sides to even present something like that, man, deserves a round of applause. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just little semantics that y'all all disagree on, or different. Really, it's like small talking points. But I think, man, both sides, you know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, it's really it's not funny games, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think y'all all agree on Africans participated in the slave trade. And I think it's just more so.
I wanted to ask Chef something. Chef, when we agree that Unc can't use that to claim the Egyptians,
what did he use?
He basically just started trying to refer to them as Africans and inferring in a sense that they're black. It's kind of a whole nother argument they were having prior to this one becoming the big argument. So I'm asking Chef, if he agrees he can't do that, then how do you not see it as the exact equivalent on this end of it? It's the exact same equivalent. Yeah, they're the same thing. It's consistently the exact same thing.
I get what he's saying. I wanted to say something about that earlier too.
Is Chef gone? Is he not here no more?
No, he here. He doing some.
Okay, got you.
He doing something with his.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he understands that, because I don't let Unc off the hook. Like that's the bull. Like we've only learned this bullshit context to refer to the continent this way.
Yeah, but you know what? Like in like the Egypt situation, I just want to know, like, because it's kind of hard to like go from slavery in the 15th century, and then you talking about going all the way back like 5,000-6,000 years ago on like a group of people. Is you looking at migration patterns? Are you looking at DNA? Are you looking at just skin tone? Are you looking at hair? Or because I mean, if you look at that way without any borders, real kind of borders, people was going back. Like one of my Howler groups is L3, and you look at the L3 goes all the way up, and some L3s go all the way up into the Middle East and then come right back. So just because they go into the Middle East, come right back, that shit don't mean nothing. Because like I think y'all broke it down on DNA shit a long time ago on just because your skin color and your pigmentation and shit, that don't even mean shit, man. It's really just all passed down to lineage to lineage. So I mean that shit could be shaky ground using DNA to try to describe a group of people. But I think you just have to deal with it culturally, especially back then. Right. And even really today, 1,000 years from now, shit, we're going to be all classified as Americans here in America.
Right.
Just on certain things that we eat, medicine that we took, all that shit. TVs, certain countries don't have TVs like how we have. Like we glued to a TV way more than other groups of people in other countries. They're going to be able to check the lenses of eyes on the back of our skull or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy shit, But I mean, but with that Egyptian shit, man, I just that's shaky ground. And that's an argument that nobody can win, man. I think people been fighting that for like 200 years, you know what I'm saying? But like 100 years with that Egyptian argument. But you know what I'm saying? But with that Taekwondo shit, I want to get on Chef on that.
Yeah, Social still here?
He is. He just I saw him. Okay. Yeah, he had to jump off. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to jump on Chef on that.
But do you see where that what I'm saying consistently? So you still here? Did you come back?
I'm listening, Montoya. Go ahead,
okay.
Bro.
So when Chef brings it up and says, yeah, make sure you use that. What I'm saying is when Unc does that and is incorrect, it's the exact same thing when y'all use it. You know what I'm saying? Like the consistency of it got nothing to do with whether it's positive or negative. Unc can't use that to claim the Egyptians. Do you see that?
Explain, you gotta explain that a little bit better what you're saying, because I'm trying to get what you're saying.
Okay.
You saying that if y'all saying that they all Africans as far as towards Chef and Sosa, if the Egyptians are all African, I mean, if you claiming that these different tribes, you can use that loose term saying all Africans, then why you can't classify Egyptians as Africans?
Well, that's basically what Unc was trying to do, and I'm saying I called him out on that. But
so what do you label the Egyptians as, like Middle Easterns or?
Well, I mean, Sosa them could do this better than me, but from at that time there was a lot of interaction between, I guess, the Nubians and the Egyptian. And Sosa, please correct me if I say it is wrong or whatever. But if you, in a sense, can follow DNA to the specific time that everybody loves to refer to, which was the civilization of Egypt, if you will, that they were entirely different people, and they're not in our lineage, which is what has been their big argument. At one point when that argument got real heated, Brother Unc tried to say, don't act like the Egyptians are not Africans or whatever. So that's kind of how we even got to that point. And me and Chef have been calling him out ever since he tried to broad label these specific groups as all Africans to imply that they're all black. That's why he used it. And I'm simply saying that the context that I've been speaking on consistently, because it ain't about whether it's a negative or I'm offended personally. It's about learning to speak about the continent correctly. And so when you refer to the people, and that when different groups did something to different people, different groups did different things. Everywhere else in the world, when you study that history, you find out which group did what. You won't hear Asians diss the Asians and come to find out you're talking about some shit that's happening between North Korea and South Korea. You're gonna find out about it from Koreans happening to South Koreans. Like that's how the entire world. If you go look up and read history, you're gonna see it. Which group did which group? The only place where you will hear this context is Africa, because it was given to us during the colonization. It was a context given to us of all the stuff that I don't know if you all start. So I'm saying what I am saying is consistent, whether it's positive or negative. I didn't even allow Unc, who we're on agreement on this shit on how to refer. Now Hunk's going too far. He's almost trying to act like, that even when Chef and them give specific example, he tries to say they're not culpable. I'm not trying to disregard any of the specific history. I'm just saying that's the only way to correctly speak about it. And the scholar that Unc played earlier, that's pretty much what he was saying too.
Yeah, I think I get what Unc's point was, man, as far as dealing with the topic on African slavery, Africans. I think and I agree with Unc with that also. You know what I'm saying? Like it all plays a part in everything. And I think Unc is basically saying, don't leave that shit out. Like if we're gonna be on, right. I think Sheffrin and Sosa argument was just typically saying that Africans participated in the Atlantic slave, had a responsibility act in the Atlantic slave trade. And I think Unc is basically saying, Unc is trying to introduce a whole nother topic today, arguments of basically essay. And basically they didn't present that. Now everybody can all come together and present something on really breaking down the true story, because Unc can start from the beginning on how this shit happened in certain contexts, and Sheffrin and Sosa can talk about what was the results. You know what I'm saying? And that basically, man, when I got out of all of that shit was one big ass presentation. Like, cause Unc started on basically what was the Europeans part. and Sheffrin and them presented what was the Africans part, and it's all in the same kind. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same presentation, and that's what I meant by saying I agree on both parties, and I think it was beautiful because I feel like you don't get that shit everywhere, and that's why you got, you know, like I said, that's why I don't listen to none of that other shit. I fuck with the pseudo killers, and I fuck with I fuck with Asar and them about certain shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really try to and I ain't saying they glorify Africa or like that, but I don't try to go too heavy on certain things. Like I'm trying to get up on the American history and on my family and what they did here on this country. So I really don't try to. I got to get that shit first, even though that history is important. But you got to go. You know what I'm saying? You can't jump from the last step to the first step. You got to fucking take one step at a time, because then you get fucking mixed up and shit. But with the Egyptian shit, I want and I wanted to know, like with the Egyptian shit, like is people saying that like Narma and like all that shit, like they wasn't Africans, or is like people just saying
nobody never suggested they wasn't African. Nobody never suggested that. But I was just saying that the way like tried to use it as in a flim way or whatever.
Like as a broad group, they was all Africans.
Saying, what I'm saying is consistent to how he's using it. It's the same way that Sosa and Chef are referring to this now. And I'm just saying that context will always be incorrect.
Yeah, because it's kind of like in Europe, right? Like in Europe, like the Brits don't be like, hold up, my shit was buzzed. The Brits wouldn't classify themselves as the French, and the French wouldn't classify themselves as the Sicilians, you know what I'm saying, or some shit like that. But since they all bunch, you know what I'm saying, like the Greeks and Italians. But like we look at like, you know, some people look at this shit as all we came to an agreement to be like them motherfuckers is different. But in Africa, it's so fucking they are, you know, in they make it seem so archaic to, you know what I'm saying, to the rest of the world. We like when you talk to them. Yeah, you talk to them, man. They don't. Yeah, they be like, nah, that shit different over there.
We can't be lazy.
Yeah, and I agree with that too.
It's not cool for us to be lazy for a context that was given to us, knowing we're gonna misuse it in our minds.
Yeah, and I was trying to give an example earlier, but y'all was going in. I was like, so like in Cleveland, you got like Cleveland, Ohio, you got the west side and the east side. Obviously, the west side is close to Detroit. So let's say the west side niggas was sitting up there. That's why I wanted to bring up like the crack game. Instead, the west side niggas was selling, getting their weight from, you know, Detroit niggas or whatever, right? And these niggas was selling to the east side niggas. You know what I'm saying? And they knew and they sold a little bit to the, you know, west side niggas or whatever, but they was, you know, pushing their shit to the east. They're like, we ain't gonna, you know how they say, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit at your house in your own home or whatever. But, you know, but everybody don't have that, you know, that cultural way of thinking, you know what I'm saying? So then let's say east side niggas selling to the east side niggas. So let's just say you know, niggas in New York talking about Cleveland niggas. They be like, man, new niggas in New York, they don't sell that shit, right? And they're like, man, yeah, them Cleveland niggas do it. But you like, man, you can't just say Cleveland niggas, because the west side niggas got the shit, but they ain't sell it to their own people. They sell it to the east side niggas. It's different. Them niggas is different. I get what you saying. Don't be lazy with this shit. Then you got to break down the streets, the little cities and shit in there. So I get what you saying. And that's why I said, like, you know, 100 years from now, the young generation going to be looking at it like, man, y'all niggas so dope to our own people, man. My great-grandmother was high on that shit. And we got problems. That's why we struggle. So they gonna hate us. Just like niggas gonna hate, you know, some people hate Africans for doing the shit that Sheffrin and Sosa presented. I ain't saying have a sympathy for the shit, but at the end of the day, like you said, you just gotta respect history. You know, it is what it is. It happened. You can't sugarcoat the shit.
I don't need to sugarcoat it. I just know that the context would never be North America. Yeah. Never, ever. There's a whole place where we are okay and fighting to use the context of the continent. Fighting like hell to say it from a continental perspective. Yeah. It's foolish as hell.
But like, yeah, you know, outside of that though, man, I know Sheffrin probably be hearing later. I don't know who else was talking that BS about the martial arts. It's a difference between a nigga, you know, like so you're like your grandmasters and shit like that, people that's in high rank belts to be, you know, teaching people shit. That shit is based on forms. You would have a nigga that would be a black belt, like a 4th degree black belt, and a nigga would be like a yellow or orange belt, but that nigga know how to fight. And you also learning this shit that they know how to do. And when they sparring don't get you to a higher rank. See, because like in Taekwondo, when I, you know, with me and my son and shit is in, I just seen black belts get their issues with niggas, with people that just got like regular color belts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. You don't get up in rank for learning how to fight. You get up in rank by learning your forms and knowing how to like basically break boards and shit like that. But like the sparring shit, that's just a whole nother level. But I know they were just joking about that shit. But I was hearing people.
I don't think they were joking about this.
Yeah, I think they,
oh, okay, yeah,
I'm about to do a show on that shit like that.
Yeah, no, it's like that little shit that he was showing with the Asian dude got beat. Now I ain't saying, and they brought up the
I remember that shit.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. They brought up the Asian dude. I was looking at it and I'm like, he probably good as fuck at forms. But that nigga probably can't fight though. It's a difference of that shit.
Apparently he can't fight because that nigga got his ass.
Right. And the nigga, but look, when he said something about what's the big nigga that just got beat up on the boxing shit? His nigga just got beat up by Wilder, right? He was saying Wilder going to a dojo and just clear the whole shit out. If he has to do Taekwondo, if he put on the Taekwondo sparring gear, he has to do Taekwondo, he wouldn't. But if you just say that nigga about to go in there with a helmet on and just bum rush swinging and shit, I don't know. He might in some, but in some, man, he might get a leg broke here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like you do know the people in MMA and UFC, you know, them niggas, they just don't, you just can't do one thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do Taekwondo. You can't just do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You just can't do Muay Thai. You got to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to do multiple things. Like, that's why I got my son started. That nigga, he about to be a 2nd degree black belt. He 8 years old. He ain't about to stop there. He want to do boxing too. So imagine a nigga that know how to use his leg and his hands and then wrestle for like middle school and high school. You know what I'm saying? He all around. You can't
raise the goddamn MMA fighter and shit, guys.
I mean, you know, I just want to, you know, we short niggas over here, man. So they got to be able to hold his ground, shit. You know, you don't know how this world going to become. You know, what you going to do when the bullets run out? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Shit.
And my one nigga, he said that shit to me. He was like, what you going to do when the bullets run out? I said, man, I was like a teenager at the time. I said, man, that's one of the realest shit I ever heard. I said, he said, man, what you gonna do when you got to throw the gun? I was like, man. Or a nigga grab you before you even, but no, off of that shit though. But
it's a real skill. I respect that.
Yeah.
If he was ready to be that ain't no bad thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, you an MMA fighter. Like, if you gonna have an MMA fighter, shit, if you train him while he young, shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, cause look, I just think that's why I started too. Cause I was like, this nigga ain't about to be like, nigga, you take out the trash. I'm like, hold on, little nigga. No, but for real, cause these young dudes, man, they don't care no more, man. But and they trying to blame that shit on. Hey, look, but I've been going in on niggas about the I had to tell my nigga about Rizza Islam, man. This nigga posted a Rizza Islam video on Facebook. I was like, man, you listening to that quack ass nigga? He like, man, why you say that? I said, man, dude, talking points, man. So I had to break it down, man. Niggas don't be knowing. And it be so sad, man. Y'all niggas don't be getting no views. And I'm like, damn, man, what the fuck? Like, why? I'm like, why people just don't like, this shit ain't hard though. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you know how to read on a 4th degree reading level, man, you can understand this shit. I'm still going through it with niggas with the vaccine shit, man. But that's the shit that I be wanting to talk about, man. I love watching these videos on vaccines and shit, man. That shit is beautiful. But I see everybody off, man. I be ending it.
No, I feel that aspect. Chef to come back, put a bow on it.
Yeah, but no, yeah.
I was when we lead the doggone little symbols be up and shit.
Yeah. But I be.
That was a crazy deal, man. Like we did all that arguing, and Unc come all the way back full circle and said, "I ain't listening to none of them. He ain't listening to nobody. None of the scholars." It's like God.
That's that love, though. You gotta respect it, man. That's that love. That's that kind of respect. You know what I'm saying? That he gonna be the last man standing if he have to. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that Hitler shit, right?
Yeah, but you can't never. How you gonna have? Like I said, some of these things would just end if they would just admit to certain points, and it ain't even that deep.
It ain't gonna go down like that, man. Ain't nobody going down like that.
You know what I'm saying? Did they
now imagine?
Yes, they did participate in the slave trade. Here's why, and here's some of the factors that you can factor in, my brother, before you judge them so harshly. And then I said, "Speak on, my brother. Tell me more." You know what I'm saying? You know when you say, "I ain't hearing that shit," no, I don't accept it.
He like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. But I feel him though. It's kind of like, but he gotta look at it like, you know what I'm saying? We can talk about it because we are essentially African Americans, or whatever how you want to say. We all partook in the shit as far as our ancestors and shit. So you know what I'm saying? That's an in-house fight. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with in-house fight. You know what I'm saying? We just having a little feud. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing wrong with that. That's how you get shit aired out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We just like how to come across on live. It may seem like for the blow up.
Hostile.
We just be doing we'll be on the same shit tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
I already know.
It ain't that fucking deep.
Yeah, that shit good though, man. Cause I learned a lot, man. Like the shit. I told Chef, man, that shit. He the one shit that killed me though, Chef presented was the dynasties happening at the same time. That shit blew me because I was like, damn, I didn't know that shit. I was like, man, that shit wild. And then I still got to finish the presentation. Chef started with this whole argument talking about the Africans enslaving the other Africans, but then Zinga stuff. I heard it's so funny because I first so-called got into this so-called community or whatever, fucking with Hidden Colors. That's how I got. Look, back in 2000 and
my brother, that's a long road.
Yeah, the first Hidden Colors. I ain't like Umar Johnson kind of had the nigga on the not taking the vaccine shit. I was bugging. My wife was tripping on me because my wife is in the medical field. So I started taking. I took some pharmacy technician class up at this university called Remington College when they was doing pharmacy technician. And so, boom. And the funny thing is, the first week in pharmacy technician, we jumped into Egypt and then we jumped into Asia. And it was crazy because they paid homage to Egypt, you know what I'm saying? And I remember, and it was before I fucking Unc, like every time I do some shit in school, Unc, the shit that happened in school, and then like a couple fucking months later, Unc could do a presentation, perfect as fuck for me to have in school. And I'm talking about like with sources and everything. I'm like, this nigga late as fuck. Like, god damn. I was struggling with this shit. Now this nigga presented. I was like, god damn. The whole thing Unc did with the Berlin Conference shit, the Pope and shit like that. Man, look, I had an English 1400 English class, right? And I had and this is so fucking crazy. So like, you don't have to show source for a narrative essay. And so I did a narrative essay, and I said I wanted to do Atlantic slavery on Atlantic. So I'm like, I ain't gotta have no sources. I could just tell any story, kind of like fucking Roots and shit, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm putting in all this shit, man. I turned my paper in, and I got a fucking A, B on. My wife helped me out with a lot of my essays, so she the real fucking genius. But I'm the lazy one, but. I turned that shit in, man. Fucking English teacher told me, younger white dude too. He told me, he gave me that shit back. He said, you got to put some sources on this shit. I said, what? He ain't say shit. But I was like, man, I had to dig up sources, man. I'm fucking putting shit on that I'm hearing on YouTube, and then shit that I looked up too. But I didn't quote the sources because I just made a story out of the shit. You know, I'm talking about first time Africans hearing cannons, the Pope, and coming to West Africa, claiming certain part of the fucking land after the one dude brought the slaves into Europe and shit to the Pope and all that shit. So that nigga was like, "Nigga, you gotta bring some sources." I just dug up some quick sources, put them at the end of the essay. That nigga gave me a C-. I was like, fuck. Like, that's terrible. but you know, I guess that nigga gave me a C for effort and shit. Like, I'm like, man, that's how deep that shit is. You know what I'm saying? When you talking about, I could have made a fucking story about Asia going into the fucking Levant. And he wouldn't ask me about no fucking source. But that slavery shit is such a touchy fucking feeling. You got to, man. And Unc did that Berlin shit, man. He did that one bullshit, the bull, diversity or what, man. I needed that at that time, bro. I needed that shit. And that shit y'all presented.
You know, because we familiar with it. You know, it does show that, you know, some people come in and they don't be familiar with it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's why I said, man.
Already. I've heard it a bunch of times to done the verses.
Yeah. This with me, this was like 7 years ago. Another thing is, man, I was like, man, I put it in the comments a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, like, you know, some people just need to do. I know Corey like to do the you know, like to deal with the stars and the, you know, atmosphere and the galaxy and shit like that. Like everybody needs to just present do a little fucking 5-minute presentation, you know what I'm saying, on something, and then boom, just to give somebody something. Like, it should just be that alone. Like, that alone, and then boom, jump on the show. That's a whole different segment, man. Because, man, like, because people got attention spans, man. So, like, when you have something and you present something, and people look and be like, damn, man, that's a 3-hour show. They don't even want to hear that shit, but motherfucker listen to like a little 5-minute segment. You know what I'm saying? I was watching dude break down the mRNA vaccines and how it's going to, like, they talking about the shit. And Shine brought this shit up earlier, a while ago, talking about being able to do shit for
those
cancer.
Yeah, those are extremely technical. Now, those videos gotta be short. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of technical information they're putting in, a lot of words and terms that you can't hammer a nigga with an hour of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, hell no. Nah. That's what Sean be trying to do.
But a general conversation piece, you know, you can build on. Like if you listen to like a Joe Rogan show, like Rogan might go 3 hours, 3 hours. It depends on how the show flow. He just let it flow.
I fuck with the one dude, the one virologist dude, man. I can't think of his name. It begins with an R. Yeah. I be watching his shit. But it's another guy, man. I wish I can leave off my screen and look up, man. I was watching them because, you know, my wife, she's trying to be a actual pharmacist and shit and all that shit. So she in school with that. And it's the one guy, man. I was like, man, listen to this. And she was like, because he break down how, like, they've been fucking doing this studying for the mRNA vaccine for like 40 years and breaking the shit all down. He do this shit in like 5 fucking minutes. And it's like raw as fuck, younger white dude with glasses. And she was like, oh, that's a dude we fucking, I had to listen to for my one class. You know what I'm saying? Because you do shit online. They give you shit to look at on like little YouTube videos. And I was like, damn, that's why this nigga got like 10 million fucking views. Because he got schools telling him to listen, you know, telling them to listen to that show. So this shit is for like school shit. Like now, the one dude that you just said that I listened to, that's a virologist, he actually does his classes on you. Like he have his class that he does online, and he present them on YouTube. Yeah. So you actually getting scholarship work.
Yeah, it's a lectures. All those lecture series is an actual course.
Yeah.
But you can get that through a lot of places. A lot of stuff I get into before I dive into it deep, I try to find a course for it. Like when I wanted to learn about the New Testament shit, I did the Yale New Testament study. It's like a 13, 14 lecture series. just to get you a base understanding, and then you go get your books, and then you start digging deep into it. But let me kind of get you grounded. Find a a Yale course on just somebody from a higher institution or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that relationship, boy, I be feeling like an outcast. I got Unc shirt, man. No religion shit, man. Me and my mom and everybody like take the kids to Disney World, man. I brought the No Religion blue shirt and had the blue hat with the and I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like nervous walking around that bitch with that motherfucker on, man. This looking at me, bro. I'm like, man, I said to them niggas at my job, I said, man, nigga, I say something about Jesus, niggas be looking at me like they ready to fucking DDT a nigga, man. Like, man, that shit is real. Nigga be feeling like an outcast with trust. I get that.
Getting robotic.
Hear talking points that I fucking like to talk.
You getting robotic
About. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because that should make you feel like you fucking maybe crazy, maybe you tripping. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you started
be like looking at me like, you tripping.
Either you or me about to get robotic.
Yeah, like I'm like, man, no, man, like motherfuckers out here, Jesus this, God this. I'm like, yeah.
You get robotic again. Can you hear me? Yeah, what's our chef at? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, you robotic.
Yeah, man, that shit. You know, it's funny because I've been looking for like 20 years dealing with the restaurant shit. So like, when you take a sanitation and safety class,
can you hear me? Yeah. Yo, chef, where you at?
You talk about how long it takes. It takes how long it takes for bacteria cells to grow.
Yo, Anthony, can you hear me?
Nah, he ain't there.
Yo, Anthony.
You can't hear the show?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, your whole shit robotic, man.
Absolutely.
Robotic for a while, shit. Yeah, because I was like, shit, I can't end it, but I'm about to tap out, shit.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I said I'm about to tap out, man. But I'm like, I want Chef to come down end the show, or we're gonna be screen will just be damn blank. And Corey in the chat. Corey, what's good? Cosmic Corey. His chef up. See, tell her end the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man. But I'm gonna wrap it up though, man. But thank you for coming on, brother. Though, man. We appreciate you. Appreciate the conversation, man. Shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, must see my signal. But everybody, I'm gonna thank everybody for coming through. Chef gonna pull up eventually in the stream, hopefully. Or we gonna be building the chat until he do, man. But man, peace and good night to everybody, man.
had a bitch at the bar. We went to